and welcome to the Stonery. We are here to smoke weed and talk about weed. Grab your cannabis and let's get into it. Today, we will be talking about a disposable vape that I bought. So, the brand, company, whatever you want to call it, is Astria Farms, and they are a highly rated company in this area. I've heard a good deal about them. Everybody who I've talked to about them loves them. Their products are decent. I enjoy them quite a bit. They have a good range of products. I think pretty much anything cannabis that you might want, they might have. And they have all sorts of products online and in a range of dispensaries across Western North Carolina. They have a blog section just like every other cannabis website right now. So if you want information on cannabis, you can use them as your trusted source. But overall, they're a very decent cannabis company that I've heard a lot of good things about. A lot of people enjoy them. So, this is the Chemdawg hybrid disposable from Astria Farms. It is a sativa leaning hybrid, according to what I found on Google. This was definitely giving me like a light buzz. It was a harsh hit, but I found that with a lot of. I've tried other ones of theirs, and I've definitely had this harsh hit before with them. It definitely helped my nausea. This one helped me get through the day some days. Wasn't a great one for my focus, not a good like daily strain, but it was a good medicate strain. It definitely had a sweeter flavor, but it was not enhanced by terpenes at all. It just kind of was your average cannabis flavor with a more sweeter vibe. This one, as much as I say it didn't really help with focus, it helped me with creativity. Like it didn't help me with like focusing on my chores that I didn't want to do, but it like I wanted to work on the podcast, I wanted to do stuff that maybe didn't need to get done right away, and my brain just wouldn't let me. And I mean this is normal for me, but this weed is definitely creative weed more than it is focus weed. I'm not really sure about their test results. This one's a little bit shadier in the test result area. Unfortunately, a lot of companies are. I don't typically tend to count that against them too much, unfortunately, because there's just not enough out there that are properly tested. That is one of the perks of living in a legal state. You get more legal restrictions on cannabis and things get regulated, which can be good and bad. I love hate relationship with that kind of shit. I personally would like testing information. I want to know. It is something I enjoy having, and it is something a lot of THCA companies neglect. But they do have some testing information. I found Chemdawg disposable testing for March of 24, so that is still this year technically when I'm recording, but not when this episode comes out because these episodes are coming out in January. And it looks like they only tested for cannabinoids. They did not test for chemicals or metals or other things that should not be in my cartridge that possibly are. They do have very nice packaging. It's this little Ziploc baggie that holds the disposable. And it's got a lot of the strain information right out on the package. Actually, I have it. I can look at it while I record this. Yeah, and it's green and it's wavy. It's got the expiration date. It's got instructions. It's got warnings. It says made in the USA. Just a cute little Ziploc baggie. Hello and welcome to the Stonery. I know this is kind of the middle of the episode, but I forgot some chunks, and this is me recording from the future with a better mic, so I didn't want to just play it off like nothing was different in the middle of the episode. So, hello from a different day. But we are talking about Astria Farm, and let me tell you, in the middle of the snowstorm, which, who knows, we'll see how much snow we actually get. It's coming down now, but it stopped earlier and it melted a little bit already. I don't know, we'll see. But I decided to work this morning. I felt like total shit. I shouldn't have worked this morning. I worked for a little bit, and then when I finally decided I couldn't take it, this wasn't enough production for me to feel okay with working. So I quit working, took a shower, and then I went to Octagarden. Now, I felt like ass, but my tolerance break is finally over, so I drove to the Octopus Garden near me, which I love Octopus Garden. It is pretty much my new favorite all-around weed store for whichever feeling I want. You know, like they've got any sort of product. I'll talk more about them in another episode, probably the one about this flower, but I picked up some flower from Octopus Garden, and man, let me tell you, this flower slaps. I told this man, I want my headache to go, I want to knock out my headache with this weed, exact words. Pulled this 37% permanent marker out, so get ready for an episode on that one. It's going to be, before even finishing the review of this weed, I want this again, you know? Alright, enough about that one. We're talking about Astria Farm Chemdawg in this episode. This one is, I think, the hybrid. Sativa leaning hybrid. This one had HHC in it. This one I'm a little bit newer to. I have one person I know who really enjoys this one for different joint pain and stuff like that. Maybe sleep. I think he might use it for sleep. This one, technically they said it was HHCR and HHCS, but it was really hard to find the difference between the two of them. I actually had to ask Vincent to help me out with that one. Shout out. But most of the time you're going to find them together, so it seems like most of the information out there is just on HHC. But from what me and Vincent found, HHC-S is a weaker high, and it might even diminish the high of the HHC-R. And again, these are newer cannabinoids that we are finding, and this one seems to get you high like Delta-9 THC, but it says it's possibly more potent than Delta-9. Again, we don't really know. It's hard. We haven't tested a lot for this. We're getting there. We're testing it. So another cannabinoid in this one is THCP, which we all know and love as the high potency cannabinoid. This one sometimes is synthetically infused, depending, but I'm not scared of synthetics as much as some people. I'm a little more worried about the other ingredients they're putting in our edibles, quite honestly, and stuff like that, more than I am about the THCP. I'm learning that they're very unregulated, and I wonder why every edible I've bought in North Carolina gives me a freaking headache. I have bought some edibles that have worked, like those cycling frog drinks, but Man, I'm pretty sure I got my first aura migraine since I was 6 because of the freaking edible I had. And this was supposed to be from a reputable source, so I don't know, man. Maybe I just need to not, with edibles, try and make my own, which we probably will. I gotta go buy some shake for that, though. This one also has Delta 8 in it. This one is less potent than your THC. Some people don't like Delta 8. Some people get really panicky on Delta 8, I think I heard. CBN is the sleepy cannabinoid. If you want to go to bed, you want this in your thing, which is kind of wild that it's in a sativa-leaning hybrid, but this one I felt was a very well-rounded experience. It did really feel like a hybrid. And the terpenes in this one, the primary terpene in this one was caryophyllene, the peppery terpene. This one makes you sneeze. This one makes me sneeze a lot. This one might be known for its anti-inflammatory properties if we get to test it more, hopefully, fingers crossed, because love that. Then the secondary terpenes are myrcene and limonene. This week's dispensary of the week is Astria Farms. I really enjoy their products. I definitely want to pick up more of them and would love to talk about them more on this podcast. But go pick up their stuff. I love both the disposables that I've tried. I'm pretty sure I've tried other products too, but it's been a while. But I like getting I usually get them at the Octopus Garden, but hello, future Jillian. I just wanted to chime in and say that I do love Astria Farms flour. I have yet to try a flour I've been disappointed with, and I'm very excited to try their concentrate. I just found out they made concentrate, so I'm excited to try more Astria Farm things. Let's say that for sure. Thank you so much for listening to this week's podcast. The best way to support the podcast is to tell your friends about me. Tell your friends to listen to the podcast. Share me with your online friends, your in-person friends, random people you don't know at the dispensary. Share me with everybody, please. That is the best way to get the podcast out. But also follow me on Instagram. I'm at the _stonery_pod. You can email me, thestonerypod@gmail.com. You can join the Discord, which should be in my Linktree link, which all of my other stuff should be there too. I will also answer Instagram DMs or emails, or please leave a review on your favorite podcast player, whatever you use. It's always helpful to have a review. I know it's nicer to look at a podcast that has a review than doesn't, I tend to actually get my podcasts word of mouth. That's how I find more podcasts, either from my friends, my coworkers, or my podcasts. Honestly, some of them are because my podcast had somebody on and I fell in love with them and I wanted to listen to their podcast. But that is all, folks. Have a wonderful day and stay medicated.